Welcome to Mornings with Luann and Tim, sponsored by 4:45 on Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. How are you this morning, my friend?
I am well. How are you, my friend?
Awesome. What a shame about Notre Dame in Paris. I was there.
Not during the fire. You mean you visited?
Yeah.
I was there, she says, with a match in her hand.
No.
When did you visit Notre Dame?
On my honeymoon.
Oh, Lou.
Yeah, so it was very sad. My husband lit a candle for my dad.
Oh.
Because he wasn't doing very well at that particular moment. So yeah, it's very, very sad. But there are people who are already stepping up. Watching footage last night, it's so devastating because locals, of course, you know, this was built in the 1200s. So
1163.
and it actually has gone through so many different conflicts and world wars, you know, and it kind of always survived. So people in Paris were just on the streets sobbing, just hysterical, really feeling badly. Selma Hayek, who's an actress though, her husband is François-Henri Pinault, and he is rich. He and his dad are donating $113 million to rebuild Notre Dame.
Wow.
Yeah, he and his dad have decided that they're going to release some of their funds.
Well, this isn't the first time it's had to be rebuilt, as you mentioned. Apparently, after the French Revolution, it was just a disaster.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was 1789, and it was rebuilt then. Then World War I, bombs and fires left, says, a broken heap. So that restoration began in 1919, went on for 15 years. It was rebuilt.
Took a long time.
The spire that burned and the roof, they were not the originals.
No.
They had already been replaced at one time. And did you hear about the human chain? I guess there was a mass going on, an evening mass.
Oh, I heard it was empty.
I heard there was they got everybody out from the mass or something.
Oh, really?
And then I heard, what I read was a human chain getting the artifacts out.
Yes, I heard that too.
Okay.
400 firefighters were there.
Wow.
And one of their directives was get the stuff out.
Yeah.
A lot of people are lamenting the pink stained glass windows.
That's the
Apparently the two in front of the building, you know,
would
with
have blown
the heat
out.
and the water damage.
Towers survived, right?
Yes, yeah. And the main church itself apparently is,
So it's most of the roof and the spire and whatever other damage. That's the water damage has got to be incredible inside the church.
You know what, though? Interestingly enough, they were a couple of days ago. They took off a lot of the outside statues and stuff
because of the work they were doing?
Clean them and stuff because they're actually renovating, and that's why I thought there was nobody in the building. But maybe the scaffolding.
Or maybe there's different parts. Like maybe there was another area where there were people for.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They got 13 million tourists last year in that place.
You know what? It's such regardless of your faith.
Yeah.
It's such an overwhelmingly beautiful, peaceful building. It just absolutely stunning. Now when you walk around and you look at how old everything is, and you start to really think about how it's been such a pillar.
I feel like that when I spend time with you. How old she is and what a pillar she's been in the community.
My pillar's kind of bending now, though. I'm just
Happy Mushroom Day, Luann.
Oh God, I hate them.
Do you?
I can't stand mushrooms. Hate mushrooms.
I never know with you what you're going to like and what you're not going to like.
Who invented a mushroom?
I don't know. 19th century France. That's when the French chefs began to cook with mushrooms in 19th century.
They bounce once they're cooked. They're just like, there's nothing of value to them.
It took me a while to get nothing of value.
Nothing of value. They taste like dirt. They feel like rubber in your mouth.
I think if you let me cook a mushroom for you, you might be surprised.
Yeah.
Happy Mushroom Day, Donald Trump.
Happy Mushroom Day.
Now, how can you don't like mushrooms and the texture? You're big on textures. It's also National Eggs Benedict Day.
Yeah.
And those you like.
Well, because
figure her out, ladies and
but you know
gentlemen.
what? There's the creamy sauce, which is like the highlight.
Hollandaise.
And then there's the creamy egg yolk and white.
I'm surprised that you like a poached egg.
But
Miss Texture?
And what surprises me is because, see, for me it would be the contrast between the hard toast and then the egg and sauce.
Shouldn't be hard toast, Luann. It should be a soft English muffin.
There you go. So if it's nice and soft and you know, moist and stuff,
Who makes
I
National
like that.
Eggs Benedict Day on a Tuesday? That's stupid. I don't have time to make eggs Benedict on a Tuesday.
What are you, a diva? You can't make eggs Benedict on a
Hollandaise
Tuesday.
sauce takes some doing.
It takes. I've never done it, so look at me talking.
Well, then, what do you know from?
Nothing.
Do you
At
know,
all?
In 19, today in history.
Yes.
In
He loves this.
I do. In 19, because it makes me think about what did we do before. In 1929, on this date, the New York Yankees became the first team to wear numbers on their uniforms.
Wow.
Well, I'm just thinking what they do before.
Hey, you.
Okay, the blonde guy's running for third place, and the guy with he's got the wart. He's gonna.
He's got the wart.
How would you describe the guys?
Look at that guy with the schnoz.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going for home.
How would they describe the guys?
Sure.
Oh, you mean what's his name? No, the other one who's he's like 5'9", maybe 130 pounds.
You know the one that's doing the other one's wife?
Hey,
Him.
look, there they are. Hi, Yankees. Do they have numbers on there?
I wonder if their
can't
names
tell.
though were on the back. Maybe the numbers weren't, but the names.
Oh, maybe they had names and no numbers. I never thought about that.
I did. I thought about that.
You're so smart. And in 1943, on this date, Dr. Albert Hoffman discovered the psychedelic effects of LSD.
Oh, how did he discover that?
I don't know, but he turned to the pink elephant in his room and said, "Hey, man, look at there's hair on my hands."
And now it's moving. Oh my word! Oh my word! You know what? I feel bad because apparently Justin Bieber is making some headway, feeling a little bit better. He said he was going to take a break and step back because he's been very depressed and stuff.
He went to Coachella, didn't he?
Yes, just in time to be sued by a photographer that he clipped.
Oh.
Yeah, he clipped the photographer's car when he was driving his truck. And
trying to get away from the paparazzi?
Trying to leave.
Well, you know what?
But
bad
he
for
only
the
clipped
paparazzi.
him, but he stayed with him, asked him if he needed some help, and he stayed with him until the police came. He called the police himself.
He did everything right.
Yeah, and he was saying to the paparazzi, he said, "You know what, guys? It's so hard to drive when the lights are flashing. When a light bulb goes off or a camera bulb goes off in your eye.
When a light bulb goes off,
you're sort of blinded." He said, "Well, multiply that by like 15 or 20.
Right.
He said it's hard to see you guys." And apparently the guy was fine with it and everything, but that was in 2017 in LA. He's decided now he's going to sue him.
Nah.
You know what? Compensation, buddy.
I saw a clip. I think it was Justin Bieber and some girl, and I think it was at Coachella. Was he wearing a medical mask at Coachella?
Yes, he was.
Why?
I don't know.
Michael Jackson all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he had his nose done.
Maybe. I saw him actually dancing in the audience.
Was he still wearing that thing?
No, it was actually down, but he had it on, but it was off
Maybe
his
he
face.
was just feeling maybe he's got something coming up. He doesn't want to get sick. You know what I
maybe,
mean?
yeah.
All the germs at Coachella.
Can you imagine? Yeah. James. No. Who's the guy who does karaoke?
James Corbin.
He and James were dancing together.
Oh,
at
how
Coachella.
sweet.
Yeah, very cute.
Maybe also, I wonder whether or not. I don't think he's doing any drugs anymore, Justin. So maybe he's trying to keep the smell of marijuana away from himself.
I wonder.
I don't know. Anyway, I hope he's not just taking care of himself. That's good.
Yeah, well, you gotta, right? It's about self-care. You always say that.
I do always say that.
You always have to take care of yourself.
Kind of interesting that we're talking about self-care. It's Children's Mental Health Week coming up, and one of my first guests guests are from Algoma Family Services to talk about children's mental health. We have to take care of our mental health.
You know what? Kids too, especially. It feels to me like I don't know if it's because we're just hearing more about it, or if it's because they are dealing with more or different pressures than we dealt with, but it feels like there's so much mental health with our children. And I'll tell you what, that facility, man, dead on with their care.
Within their programming.
Yeah.
You say, we're hearing more about it, and maybe that's why. And I do think that's what it is. I don't think that there's more instant. Well, I do believe that we're living in a different world, and that there are different stressors on our youth than what we went through. Mm-hmm. My life was so carefree when I was a kid growing up.
Well, mine too, kind of. I had a couple of bullies, but you know what? I had 36 cousins too.
Okay, but apart from the bullying, I wasn't exposed to the stuff that kids are exposed to at an early age. I was naive, and I was a kid. I was
you know what? Those contraptions, they're called phones. They're attached to their
Social
hand,
media,
and I think
man.
you know what? we're talking about a 15-year-old girl. I was reading a story about the fact that she was very upset because an ex-boyfriend posted nude pictures of her, 15. And all of her classmates were laughing and teasing her about how her breasts looked.
Oh my gosh.
She's 15.
Oh my gosh. But on the other hand, though, we do know more. I mean, we've learned more.
Yes, we do.
We're taking away the shame
Yes.
element, and
Yeah.
people are being more open about their mental health, which is a great thing. We're starting more conversations.
And we're going to talk
and
more
probably
about
that's
that.
why. Yeah, we are going to talk about that, plus lots more on Mornings with Luann and Tim. And Luann has the news too today.
Yes, I do.
And so once
Please stay
again,
tuned.
our thanks to 4:45, who's sponsoring our show. So we'll be back right after this.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Drop by one of our 3 Sault Ste. Marie locations. You do life, we do taxes.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me live in the studio from Algoma Family Services to talk about Children's Mental Health Week. I have Emily and Mark. Thanks for joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
So you guys are co-chairs of the committee to put all the events together for this week that's coming up?
We sure are.
Absolutely.
When is it? May 6th to something, 9 or 9th?
May 6th to 11th.
I was right. May 6th to 11th.
You were close.
I was darn close. What's going on? Like, why are we having what's the purpose of having a Children's Mental Health Week, Emily?
Well, it's actually a way to raise awareness and let people know that it's okay to not be okay and to go and seek help if you're having some struggles with mental illness. So it's Children's Mental Health Week and Canadian Mental Health Week.
It's both?
It's both.
Okay, great. So Mark, as far as children's mental health goes, what's the involvement with Algoma Family Services? You offer programming, you offer counseling. What is the role that you play in our community when it comes to children's mental health?
Well, really, we're in the schools. We provide counseling services from birth to 6 and 7 to under 18. We got adult services downtown for violence against women. We have education for parents. We just do a whole lot.
You do?
Yeah, we try to drive that for sure.
And you have youth groups as well, too, is that right?
Oh, anxiety, low mood groups, for all ages. I mean,
really?
We just finished a teen one. We're going to run an age 9 and 10. That way we can do a whole lot of service. And at the same time, the parents have a group, and we've got childcare minding, and everybody eats. It's really a great thing.
You had a teen group that I knew it as Union, and now it has a new name.
New Northern Mentality.
New Northern Mentality. And I know some people who've been involved with this, teenagers who've been involved with this, the youth. just saying it's amazing that there's such bonding that goes on. They do great work for advocating for
Absolutely,
youth
yeah, they
mental
do.
health.
Yeah.
They're really a voice in the community.
They are. It gives them a place to have a voice and to.
And it's an outlet for them to get together and just talk
Yeah.
about what it's like being a teenager.
Absolutely. It's a tough time in your life, right?
It's a tough time in your life anyway, for anybody, even if you have excellent mental health, which I guess, what is it, four out of 5 of us have pretty good mental health. 1 in 5 of us,
Not so much.
not so much. That's pretty much the average in Canada, right?
That's what they say, 1 in 5.
1 in 5 Canadians, and that includes 1 in 5 youth.
And you know what? And the more that we find out that everybody who's a sentient human being struggles at some point with anxiety, mood, things happen in their life, events. And you know what? It's okay to talk about it, like Emily said.
Yeah.
But it's okay to get help.
Absolutely.
message.
We can't take, if you had a broken bone, you're going to go see a doctor.
Absolutely.
You're going to go get fixed.
Absolutely.
So if there's something wrong with your mental state and you're feeling out of sorts or not right and something feels broken inside of you, you should be able to go and get help.
Absolutely.
should.
That's right. That's right.
So how do people come to you to get help? Is it are you referral only, or do people come directly to Algoma Family Services? How does that work?
Other agencies can refer to us. People can walk in the front door. They phone us. We're involved in the schools. We work in all the school boards. We have
right.
counselors along with their counselors that all talk and provide service. So there's a lot of ways in. But if you have a question, 945-5050, phone, and somebody will get on the phone and speak with you and really give you some options. That's the important thing.
There's also another number. There's the Children's Helpline, right? 1-800-866-6868, I believe is what it is, and that's 24/7 counseling as well. Children's Helpline. So if something's going on, in the middle of the night or something, even, or if you're in crisis and if you just want to find out who else to call in your community, Children's Help Phone will do that for you.
There's
as
a
well.
text line now.
Oh, there is.
right.
It's awesome. They can phone and reach out to somebody
No
without having.
kidding, Mark.
I know.
That's
And
brilliant.
it
Well,
is
because they live on
brilliant.
their phone, so that's the place to get
right,
to them,
yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So now to celebrate Children's Mental Health Week, Emily, we've got some events coming up that you guys have been putting together
We do.
for
We
us.
have a whole week of events planned. We're doing opening ceremonies on the Monday, which will also include an outdoor fitness class that we're going to host right at Algoma Family Services.
Now there's a good point. Outdoor fitness.
Yeah.
Mind,
Absolutely.
body connected, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
A healthy body helps lead to a healthy mind.
Yes, that's the underpinning of good mental health for sure.
Okay.
Nutrition and
when is that again?
exercise.
Sorry, that's that-
So that Monday, May 6th, is our outdoor fitness class at Algoma Family Services.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's
On
pretty
your
fun.
lawn?
On our lawn. So you're
Great.
going to come and work out.
Okay.
And then on Tuesday, we're doing an infant mental health event at the West End Community Center.
Infant mental
So
health.
it's for 0 to 6.
I don't even think about infant mental health.
No.
That's
Well,
a
you
thing.
should.
I guess I ought
you
to.
should, yeah.
This is why the parenting groups are great too, right? Like Triple P and all that stuff,
Yeah.
because they talk about what your child can be going through that you wouldn't even, maybe like me, I wouldn't even think about my child's mental health
Right.
as a baby.
No, exactly. So this is a way for parents to connect with their kids through craft, through a snack, through some physical activity.
Oh.
We're also doing
So
one.
you can bring your little babies in there from 0 to 6, and you have a.
We've got yoga. We're doing soccer, free play, crafts, and snacks.
When is that? Tuesday,
So
May
that's
7th?
Tuesday, May 7th from 10 to 12 at the West End Community Center. So
Is that
we-
right beside Cora Collegiate?
Yes.
Okay, attached to the library and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay, cool.
That's the one. And then Wednesday, May 8th, we're going to be doing the same type of event at the Garden River Wellness Center.
What? Oh, excellent.
Yeah, from 10 to 12 again.
That's a great center.
Yeah, it's an awesome center.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then on Friday, we're doing a third mental health event, infant mental health event in Bruce Mines at the early on
So
center.
the whole district is.
Yep, there's 3 of those events
for
happening
you.
this week. And then in the middle of the week, we have our concert, which I'll let Mark tell a little bit about.
Okay.
4th annual concert, and it's amazing because it's for performers between the ages of 14 and 24 that can audition. We have auditions tomorrow, and I got some open spots.
Do you?
Anybody want to audition, phone me at AFS at 945-5050. I'm the only Mark there, but if you want my extension, it's 2318. And it can be a single, duo, band, it doesn't matter if it's musical, because you know what?
The poster's up right now.
Poster's up, I got it here, but
Yeah.
it's really important that, you know what, music's just a great modality to take care of yourself. It's amazing.
Musical, any kind of arts is such a great outlet.
absolutely.
Whether it's drawing or dancing or music or. Would you take comedy acts? Would you take? I mean, is it all music, Mark? Or
It's all music. We've focused in on music. So
it's actually a concert. I see it says
it's
right
an actual
there.
concert. We have 2 headliners. We have Lime, which is made up of members of Mustang Sally from Cora.
Oh, you really-
And they play
excellent.
places in town, bars and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They're amazing.
good.
And you know what? This is really cool, though. Tiana Legacy, who has been a performer in town. You're naughty. You know who she is.
I met Tiana when she was probably about 12 or 13 years old, and she had written a song about mental health. Didn't she perform it at The Sky's the Limit before?
This is her 3rd year, and she's written a song for AFS's foundation.
I
It's
saw
amazing.
her. She's performed all over town, and you would never know. She's only about 15 still.
She's 16 now. You close your eyes, you think you've got a voice of a 30-something year
Yeah,
old.
you're
It's
right.
just amazing.
And she writes her own stuff, which is so amazing as well. So Tiana's performing. She's your headliner.
She's one of the 2 headliners. Lime and Tiana are both co-headlining.
What's this I see? MC Sonny Spina. Sonny Spina stealing my gigs.
If you want to see Sonny in a leather jacket, you got to come out. And the concert's on Thursday, May the 9th.
Thursday, May 9th.
You got tickets all over town. You can get tickets at AFS, the front desk. You can give me a call.
Where are you doing it this year? Where's it being held?
It's going to be at Cora this year.
Okay,
in
great.
The auditorium.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's going to be a great show because you know what? Music, like you said, is one creative outlet to work through, maybe some difficult feelings and thoughts.
And
right?
it makes you feel good too.
That's important.
Yeah.
It's called balance.
So, but the auditions, just to stress again, they are
Tomorrow night,
tomorrow, which
on
is
Wednesday the 17th. Their auditions. Give me a call, and I've got some spaces left. It takes a lot of courage,
Yeah.
and you're going to be always treated right. And you know what? And that's the whole point.
It's a great environment. If you want to try something out, this is the time to do it. You know why? Because these people are so supportive, right? It's a great. You couldn't ask for a nicer audience.
No, it's going to be amazing.
That's
So
true.
if you want to audition, I still got some spots. Give me a call. Looking forward to hearing from you.
I want to thank you both for being here. Children's Mental Health Week coming up. Again, the dates.
May 6th to May 11th.
And that's also Canadian Mental Health Week.
Canadian Mental Health Week.
Emily and Mark, thank you very much for being here. The
Thank
Sky's
you.
the Limit is the concert, and we'll be back with Luann right after this.
With 3 brands to choose from Kawasaki, Suzuki, and CF Moto, visit one of our 4 showrooms today and speak with our knowledgeable, friendly, and enthusiastic staff who will be happy to help you with all of your motorsports needs.
Enjoy life, enjoy the ride. Bud Robinson Motorsports.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
can hear that there are roofers working on the building, and there's this scraping going on behind me. I said, I feel like I'm at the dentist getting tartar scraped off my teeth.
I wonder if you can hear it. It's just so loud
But
for us.
Hey, before we go on with the show, this is it. Emily asked me to mention one more thing. By the way, these green ribbons, this is about Canadian Mental Health Week and Children's Mental Health Week. There's a basketball tournament that Emily didn't get to mention. May the 11th, it's called 3-on-3. It's being held at White Pines from 8:30 in the morning on.
Are you going?
Me in basketball? But they're looking to register teams, 3 to 5 players. Get a hold of Emily at Children's Algoma Family Services, and you can register your team and have some fun playing basketball at White Pines for mental health on May the 11th.
I got a couple of things for you.
Go.
Ariana Grande,
Yes.
of course, performed at Coachella, and like it's all over social media. She looks adorable. She sounded awesome. She invited NSYNC and a couple of other people to sing with her. So NSYNC, she said, let's give it up for NSYNC. I've been rehearsing my whole mother life for this.
Did she say it at Coachella?
She did. She made $8 million for being there.
She could fix Notre Dame.
She could let her hair down. She could let that ponytail go. She could, yeah.
$8 million for how long was she on stage?
I don't even know.
Whoa! But I heard that she showed the boy bands how to do it. Like I read,
she
a
really
review.
kept up with the choreography.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like, yeah, and of course she's like.
I haven't seen the video. There's video of it?
Yeah.
I gotta check it out.
Yeah, it's very, very cute. And Cher, you know Cher.
Love my
just,
Cher.
Like says what she thinks, right? So she's on Twitter. Yes. And so she's on Twitter and she's talking about the immigration issue. And she says she gets it. She understands the immigration issue. But she said her city isn't taking care of its own. She said there are 50,000 plus homeless people in the United States of America. That's all she said. Donald Trump Jr. tweeted, "Welcome to the Republican Party." And then Mr. Donald Trump said, "I finally agree with Cher." So then Cher retweeted, "Dems are playing politics and Trump is playing butcher. He's an ignorant thug with a lizard brain that guarantees his survival above all else. He has a black heart." Okay then, how do you feel, Cher?
Oh my gosh.
Could you imagine getting called out on Twitter by Cher?
Wow.
I will have none of that.
If I
Mr.
could
Trump.
turn back time, I'd take back that tweet.
Imagine though the gall of Don Jr.
Right.
Welcome to the Republican
Party. He's such a little.
Oh, he's such
snivelly
a
little.
yeah. He's,
So Thursday, the Mueller report's being
Yes.
released to Congress.
yes.
Redacted. Somebody said 400 pages is going to be 4 paragraphs.
Yeah. Seriously, they're going to be flipping through.
There was no collusion. Let's just black everything out so those words are there.
Yeah, and Donald Trump will put his initials beside all the redactions. You know how you do on a check when you make a mistake. Anyway.
Oh my gosh, you have some local news coming up, Luann?
I have a little bit of local news. We have a story coming out of council last night, which is really interesting. And then
can we talk about that after when you tell? Because I always learn the news from her when she reads it. Then I want to talk about it after we come back in our banter, because I think I know what it's about.
Sure.
In council,
we'll do that for sure. And there's a school in Thunder Bay that is dealing with some issues. Oh my goodness, threats like. The story, I'll tell you how many since mid-February. It's unbelievable. This one school in Thunder Bay.
I know. Oh, I know. We're talking about opioids from City Council, aren't we?
No,
I want to. I'll bring that up after the news, which is next on Mornings with Luann and Tim.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatsioux.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today. To help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument, visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Council passed a motion at last evening's meeting to support the Sault Ste. Marie Economic Development Corporation to designate Sault Ste. Marie as a foreign trade zone. The SSMEDC, through its Invest Sault Ste. Marie program, has been working with stakeholders and government officials to explore the benefits of a foreign trade zone designation from the federal government. The status will help enhance international trade and investment opportunities for the Sioux. The overriding goals for the designation include becoming a Northern Ontario focal point for international trade, strengthening international trade for existing businesses in the region, and to attract more new businesses and investment to Sault Ste. Marie that engage in international trade activities. The designation would offer an advantage for marketing and branding purposes, highlighting the strategic location of the Sioux and attracting investment. City police are still looking for 72-year-old Daniel Edward McIntosh. Mr. McIntosh was last seen leaving his home on Strand Avenue around 9 a.m. yesterday. He was walking in an unknown direction. Mr. McIntosh is about 5'9" and 160 pounds. He was last seen wearing a black jacket and black fleece pajama bottoms with a white vertical stripe. If you have any information, call police. The head of Legal Aid Ontario says a funding cut from the provincial government means the agency's lawyers will stop accepting most new immigration and refugee clients starting today. Legal Aid CEO David Field said in a memo to staff yesterday that the province has told the agency it can only use federal funding to cover new immigration and refugee services this year. That federal funding totals between $13 and $16.5 million, short of Legal Aid Ontario's projected costs of between $30 and $34 million on the services for the year. A government spokesperson says the federal government should fulfill its responsibility to newcomers by shouldering the costs of such cases. Field says the agency will honor clients who are already being served and will help some additional clients in limited circumstances. The province is reducing funding to the organization by 30%, meaning it will receive $133 million less in this fiscal year. An architectural expert says the catastrophic fire that engulfed the upper reaches of Paris's soaring Notre Dame Cathedral as it was undergoing renovations is a loss not only for the city but for Catholics who came on pilgrimages there.
So it's a loss, however you want to look at. It's a loss also Christianity to Catholicism, beside as a civilization or cultural dimension for Catholics. It's a tremendous loss for us because, of course, it's one of the pilgrimage to this day. So it's a time of sadness. But Notre Dame of Paris, the cathedral, is literally at the core, the center of the city. I mean, the ancient city, the old one in the island that is located. it's a point of pilgrimage. People have gone to this place even before Christianity was around. That's the church started from this kind of pagan center apparently, but from there grew up into what is today.
At the start of this campaign, I asked, who do you trust to fight for you? Me or Mr. Kenney? Do we move forward with his kind of a plan, or do we move forward with my very clear plan?
Yesterday, Alberta NDP leader Rachel Notley spent her final day of the provincial election campaign contrasting her approach to pipelines against the more combative one of her chief opponent, United Conservative Party leader Jason Kenney.
Albertans are concerned about the economy and about their futures. That makes perfect sense. The oil price collapse has hit us hard, and it's been very tough on many people and many families. And so I make this promise to all Calgarians and to all Albertans. I will fight for you. I will move our oil by rail so we can get a better price for our resources. I will keep diversifying our economy, investing in upgrading and refining right here at home. And I will win the pipeline fight, not by shouting at our fellow Canadians, but by continuing to build support.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
I need a new phone. What do you use your phone for mostly? Work, play.
Oh, you mean everything.
One that won't run out of battery when Joyce from accounting is doing the Running Man.
Who else wants to see that Running Man demo?
The Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It's a great phone with a powerful all-day battery. We've got the best phone for you for a great price. And you can choose your carrier.
A little Running Man?
Just a little. There. Nice. I hope no one saw that.
Whew. Where was she when I went phone shopping?
Have a great business idea but don't know where to start? Need help taking your business to the next level? C2C Business Services can be your guide in navigating the path of entrepreneurship, with services ranging from grant funding support, access to service experts, market information, and helping your business adopt new technologies to create and foster a culture of innovation for ongoing success. Call C2C Business Services and let them be your first step in taking your entrepreneurial dreams from concept to commerce. C2C Business Services is a division of the Sault Ste. Marie Innovation Center.
Are we?
You love it so much you can't even say it. I love Ellen DeGeneres.
I didn't know if we were on. I heard in my ear that. Okay, go.
Yeah.
We're on the. So the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah.
I love watching her.
Do ya?
I do. Jon Stewart.
Yeah.
Gave Trevor Noah, who was on the Ellen show yesterday,
Okay.
some advice when he took over the Daily Show. He said, "Okay, listen, Trev, the one upside that you have going into this job
Yeah.
is Donald Trump's running.
Right.
So take advantage while he's around because he's not going to be there for long." So Trevor told Ellen, I'm still waiting on that part. I'm still waiting on him to be not there anymore.
Not there anymore.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
What's going to happen? Seriously.
Oh, it's so scary.
I can't tell
isn't
what's
it?
going on. I just feel like he's he's still hanging in there.
Oh, boy, his base is strong.
I feel like it's getting bigger, Luann. I feel like it's going the wrong direction.
I do too. Yeah, it's a bit scary.
Very scary.
Yeah,
and then you get this Jason Kenney guy out there. He's like our own little version. And then we got the Doug Ford version. We got all these little mini Trumps are coming up all over the place.
Sometimes it's just like copycat.
Yeah.
You know, kind of scary.
Yeah. Oh, what I was going to talk about, what I heard about City Council last night, I just want to mention, I didn't realize 18 deaths. 18 deaths in Sault Ste. Marie since December. This is only April from opioids. So I guess the city is going to approach the provincial government. You talked about this in the news the other day, but if the resolution was passed,
actually passed,
they are going to go to the provincial government and ask for funding for beds for care for people who are going through withdrawal and who are in crisis and who need treatment.
They're looking for a level 3 treatment expansion to be attached to the Sault area hospital. So council said
Council said you can't, when you get those kind of statistics, it's terrifying. Hey?
It's just unbelievable.
So listen, we talked about children's mental health to begin with, and now we're going to talk about palliative care in the next interview. Boy, from one end of the spectrum to the other. That's coming up right after this.
I love women. I love older women, professional women, stay-at-home moms. I love how women put the family first. I love how you're so concerned that I'll get to your husband. You have no idea that I'm coming after you.
Make death wait. Please donate to fund life-giving research, because heart disease and stroke is the #1 killer of women.
What do you wish for? A nice life? Nice things? Or do you wish for something more? A sense of purpose? Do you wish to discover a cure? To write code that cracks an unsolvable question? To further our exploration into space? Or to invent something that changes everything right here on Earth? Well, if that's your wish, make yourself ready. Because when you look back, you'll see that you didn't just make wishes, you realized them.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and I have with me now via Skype from Toronto, Dr. Nadia Incardona. And Dr. Incardona is a hospitalist and emergency physician at Michael Garron Hospital. She's also an associate professor in the Department of Medicine at the University of Toronto and a clinical advisor to Hospice Palliative Care Ontario for advanced care planning. And it is in the latter position that she is joining us today. Just to give you a little bit of background, Hospice Palliative Care Ontario is the Provincial Association of Hospices and Palliative Care and leads the advanced care planning campaign for Ontario. That was a mouthful, wasn't it, Nadia?
Yes.
Thank you for joining me this morning. We are here to talk about Advanced Care Planning Day, April the 16th. I hear your dog barking.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I think your dog wants another bone. But listen, that's all right. I want to ask you about how you became involved with palliative care, or where your interest developed from palliative care, from going from being an emergency doctor to emergency physician to working as an advisor to Hospice Palliative Care Ontario. How did that transpire?
It's a great question because it's an unusual combination, but I actually think it's a combination you're going to see evolving more in the future with emergency physicians and palliative care hopefully working together a little better. So I worked as a hospitalist at then Toronto East General many years ago now, and was dealing with a lot of the patients sort of in either the end of their life or definitely the latter stages of chronic illnesses. So dementia with recurrent aspiration pneumonias, repeated admissions for heart failure, for COPD, and really was seeing how family members, substitute decision makers, and even the patients themselves were sort of struggling with how do you make decisions in these situations of chronic illness, not really having a great understanding of their own illness, and really just a lot of caregiver distress and substitute decision maker distress at having to make these decisions. So that actually led me to do a master's in bioethics at the University of Toronto, which kind of gave me the language and the skills to kind of continue some of this work. I worked then with the East Toronto Health Link, which had a mandate to develop advanced care planning tools and resources for patients with chronic illness, which then through a variety of connections led me to working with Hospice Palliative Care Ontario.
And maybe we should just get right back to the basics for people who might not know the lingo. Hospice palliative care. Can you just break that down for us and define that for our viewers?
Yeah, so Hospice Palliative Care Ontario, as you mentioned, is the Ontario organization. It's dealing with patients who are living with life-limiting illnesses. So anything from cancers, not just cancers, but heart failure, COPD, advanced dementias, anything like that. It's palliative care is focused on pain and symptom management, as well as helping families and caregivers prepare for these parts of their life. And so this is the provincial organization. The part that I work for specifically is looking at advanced care planning and how do we help Ontarians and their substitute decision makers prepare for the decisions that they need to make, prepare to provide prepare to provide consent for these decisions at the end of life.
And consent is a big part of why we're talking today. So let me know then.
Exactly.
Yeah, Advanced Care Planning Day. So there's a day named after this. This is part of your campaign, the Advanced Care Planning Campaign. What is this day all about, Doctor?
So April 16th is a National Day for Advanced Care Planning. It's really an opportunity for everyone, not just people who are living with serious illness or chronic illness, but all Canadians and all Ontarians to start thinking about the kind of care that they would want to receive in the event of unexpected serious illness, in the event of chronic illness, and at the end of their life. But it's not just about cancer patients. And I think that's a big message this year, is that advanced care planning is for all Canadians. And April 16th is just a good day for us to get a reminder to start having these conversations with our families and the people who will be making decisions for us when we can't make them for ourselves.
In my family, Nadia, right now, my mother has dementia, and I'm one of 5 children. And we are going through this right now, as a matter of fact, discussing what our mother would want as she moves into her next stages of dementia. So I think it's important. We're fortunate. We're a very tight-knit family. And so for us to have these conversations, it just comes naturally to us. A lot of people don't have the same situation, whether it's circumstance, distance, or just the family dynamic. So how do you decide who's going to become a decision maker? Who's going to be responsible for these different aspects of someone's care? And this isn't necessarily just a mother. This could be a spouse. This could be a sibling. Am I right about that?
Yeah, so that's a great point that you bring up, and I think it's something that as Ontarians we need to be really aware about this and having these conversations, because in Ontario we have, right within our Healthcare Consent Act, within the law, a very clear hierarchy of people who can be our substitute decision makers. And I think what most people need to be aware of is that this is already done. This is a default, and we need to figure out who our default substitute decision maker is. So if with your mother, if she has a spouse, her spouse would be her default decision maker. If not, it would be you and all of your 4 siblings who will have to agree on any treatment decisions that need to be made. So that's what the law says. Many times family members don't get along as well as yours do, and there are opportunities to appoint an attorney for personal care, and that would be a good way to sort of say, I would like this specific person to act as my decision maker. And that could be a family friend, that could be a relative who's not your automatic substitute decision maker, but who you really feel knows you and understands you better than the family members who are more related.
I'm imagining that there were so many possible scenarios, but let's say you're an only child, and you have one parent left. What happens if the child passes before the parent? Then, if the child was the caregiver. So all of these different, I think you've got to look at all the different possibilities and cover all your bases. Is that right?
Exactly, and there's some really great resources on the Office of the Attorney General of Ontario to learn about who your substitute decision maker and how you prepare an attorney for personal care. And I think the important thing to think of is we're all really good at preparing, well, not all of us, but many people think about doing a will and they worry about their finances and who they want to be in charge of their money. But who's going to make your life and death decisions? That's equally, and I would argue as a physician, more important. And we don't give nearly as much thought to that. So Advanced Care Planning Day is really a good day to sit down and think, who is that person? And who is my default decision maker? And does that default decision maker really want to step into the role? And if they're not, what are my options for appointing an attorney for personal care for someone who may know me better and know my values and what's going to be important to me?
I think it's also important for us to point out that advanced care planning is not pre-consent or advanced consent. This is not a form of consent. Am I correct about that?
Absolutely, and that is, I think that's something that's surprising to some people to learn, but I think it's essential that we understand that. So in Ontario, the law means that as a physician, I need to get consent from a person. So that person is either the patient who has capacity or their substitute decision maker. So you may see a lot of things about people filling out these advanced directives or living wills. In Ontario, those are a form of prior capable wishes, and we have no need to actually write them down. Sometimes people find it helpful to write down these things, but essentially that's communication for the substitute decision maker. And they need to look at that. They need to look at other things that you may have said, other things that are important to you, and use all of that information together to have a communication with the healthcare provider who is offering a treatment. And then the person or the substitute decision maker, if the person's incapable, decides to provide consent for any treatment.
Another, for instance, would be someone who perhaps is in late stages of cancer. They've found out that there is an option for treatment, but it's only going to be to extend their life, and they may choose not to go that route. They may choose to just let the cancer take them when it's the cancer's time. These kinds of decisions, right? You need to share this with your family members and let them know if these situations were to come up, that those are your wishes. Am I right about that?
Yeah, and more than just a treatment or one specific cancer treatment or dialysis or anything like that, really trying to focus on talking to your substitute decision maker about the kind of trade-offs you'd be willing to make, what kind of sacrifices would you be willing to make, and what are your limits, because that's different for everybody. And I think that's some of the most important information that you can convey to your substitute decision maker to help them understand what you're willing to go for in the interest of gaining a little bit more time. Because for some people, they will tolerate chemotherapy and all the side effects because it's really important to them to make it to a granddaughter's wedding or graduation or some important event in the futures. Whereas other people, they'll say, you know what, I understand my life will be shorter, but I want to do this one more thing this summer. I want to take one more trip. I want to I've never been to Paris. I want to go to Paris before I die. And they'll then choose to forego cancer treatment or any other treatment. So I think it's really important that rather than focusing on the treatment, you talk to your substitute decision maker and your family and anyone who's going to be around you with what your values are and what's important so that they can get a sense of what those trade-offs would be.
And that's what this day is about, this Advanced Care Planning Day, and the part of this campaign is just to raise awareness and make people start to think about having these conversations. What is the best source then, Doctor, to find out more about advanced care planning in Ontario? Can you give us some direction on where we can look for more information?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So the Hospice Pallative Care Ontario website, they are the organization that leads the Speak Up Ontario campaign. They work in conjunction with the Speak Up Canada campaign, but I would really encourage Ontarians to look at the Ontario-specific website because it does these specifics regarding substitute decision makers and consent in Ontario. So each province has slightly different legislation.
And any final words of advice for our audience today, Dr. Incardona?
Just take this opportunity to think about, if all you're ready to do at this point is think about who your substitute decision maker is, that's a great first step. Some people are a little wary or afraid to start talking about end of life, and that's okay. This is a process. This is not a one-time thing where we want you to write down all of your wishes. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. We want you to start the process of understanding who your substitute decision maker is, thinking if that's the right person, and starting to think about what's important to you, what you value, and how that affects the way you make healthcare decisions.
What a pleasure it's been to have you here today. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
A pleasure.
In the beginning, there was nature, the oceans, the forests, the mountains, and so history was passed on, and memories took shape, defining us, uniting us, creating a legacy that's ours to preserve, and ours to celebrate. Beauty amazing, got a kiss from the sun, and that thing will be blazing. I'm dreaming, dream catches, catching on my field, catches forest run, running the river to the water, relax and jump, jumping to the beat, birds flying to the creek, part of the plan, dirt on my feet, feeling the beast, feeling that beat it, I beat it, the beast, feeling that peace, feeling that ease, hold up, can't be fighting the feeling I need. A message from the Government of Canada.
If you're struggling with thoughts of suicide, there is hope and there is help. You matter. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The calls are free and confidential. Call 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. You are not alone.
Have a great Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wellness Wednesday, and also the prices are starting to go down at 4:45 on Ashman Street in Sioux, Michigan.
I'm like, where?
I think start at $5 and end up at $1 by the time the week is up.
Yeah, by Saturday they start at $5 for just about everything.
And it goes down.
Isn't that awesome? And that's on Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, and they're our sponsors, so thank you so much.
They are so.
And thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. We hope to see you tomorrow morning for Wellness Wednesday, like Tim said.
And mornings with Luann
and Tim
on ONNtv. We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, that was bad.
At 4:45, discover all kinds of treasures and never pay more than $5. Inventory is restocked every Saturday, and you can find anything from electronics to household items, toys, and much, much more. On Saturday, everything is $5, and the price goes down throughout the week, ending with 25 cents on Friday. We restock weekly with new items from various big box stores, so you never know what treasures you can find. Come visit us at 4:45, 2510 Ashman Street in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan.
Thank you.